I shield because I'm
Gay, gay, gay from every angle. It is ma'am, but testes dangle. Forspoken, tap the quirk chungus. Sony infected by homo fungus. Tame and lame is their claim to fame, and they know they're nothing without the name. Activism led you astray. Women flat chested, all the men gay over the cuckoo flu. And you're ugly too. What are you gonna do? Cause now they're firing you. What are you gonna do? 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 What are you gonna do?
Welcome home. This world going up in flames, and nobody wanna take the blame.
Hi, I'm Terminally Online, and I am currently lost in cyberspace. While I'm here, I decided to just take in the sights. Get the pun? Anyway, I couldn't help but notice that the Stellar Blade bickering is dying out, and just when I started to make a video about it, and then the power goes out. Just my luck. Almost as if this entire exercise was just a failed psyop, but you didn't hear it from me. But this is YouTube, and topic appears, and I must grift. Shit, is this how Kotaku feels? Alright, let's scrape the bottom of this very odd barrel. So as you guys remember, I made a video last week talking about the stupidity around God of War laundry. And in said video, I brought up how one of the criticisms to the audience who weren't happy with playing the tranny version of Karen Page was that we hate women, or are gay, for wanting to play as Kratos, the protagonist of every other entry in the God of War franchise. Instead of playing his wife, whose entire existence was off-screen, bar some flashbacks in Ragnarok, who, upon introduction to her, we find out is already dead. Yeah, we're the misogynists. Could have easily just kept her around with Kratos and their mistake and have them go be a problem for the Norse gods. Make it a whole family affair to beat up Baldur. But here we are. Anyway, a massive
Gotcha, bitch.
came literally a few days later when the sequel to Stellar Blade got advertised. And ain't it funny how much people were so happy that they dropped their trousers and clapped with both hands and cheeks at the thought of playing melee kicked up Eevee. You can argue it's because one's good looking and the other is, well... No disrespect to you, Big Daddy Kratos, but I'm starting to think you might be gay.
Fool this man.
I mean, true, you did have your fun with Aphrodite, but to be fair, I could just look at it as you really trying to stick it to Zeus and her husband and the entire Greek family. Hey, don't look at me like that. The entire Greek pantheon has done way worse than that, especially Zeus. Anyway, so Stellar Blade Blood Rain. There is a period joke hidden in there somewhere, and most people would think that's beneath me, but no, it's not. The trailer got released, and the boys and I are doing our personal victory laps out of joy, and the journos who can't get past the tutorial are mad. Let's get into it. If you think people are scraping the bottom of the barrel with this topic, bear in mind journalists are still trying to make GamerGate 2 happen. Yes, they have been saying it's back for a while now, but I have to see any of the same level of damage as GamerGate 1 had, but I'm here for the cope. But in that waiting, I got the joy of seeing articles like this. Stellar Blade 2 just looks as horny and intense as the first one, and I already think you have a hard drive full of corn.
Oh, you nasty.
I mean, I don't kink shame, unless you're into feet or armpits, but it's 2026, man. Just go online and watch it. It ain't going nowhere. Anyway, the author of this think piece is named Austin Manchester, and he talks about what we already know. Like the protagonists being changed, what we saw at the Summer Game Fest, and this being a sequel to the original Stellar Blade, and the protagonist of this game is named Eevee, after the last one was named Eve. And he wants to come in and do a creative dunk by mocking the naming scheme.
Got him.
And boy, aren't we the witty one. After being a lifelong Dragon Ball fan, I'm just honestly happy that we are getting a character who isn't named after food at this point. Perhaps my standards are just too low. I mean, I'm reading this slup, so what does that tell you? This goes on about the trailer and how they don't really seem all that impressed with the intensity of the combat and the dyed Cronenberg monsters. Perhaps they would prefer a dabble of Animal Crossing with some nostalgia baiting underage kissing in mixtape. To each their own. The part that makes me giggle is Homie or Homette, the one to judge, decides to slide in a mini snide comment about the game having a few too many butt shots and being horny, and being not a real departure from the prior game. And to that I say, lol, You know Polygon and their ilk are seething over the fact that this game is almost a guaranteed moneymaker. Speculation? Yes, Your Honor. But like with Carmelo Anthony, whatever happens, they have it coming.
Shoot this motherfucker.
Kiss my ass, Green Man.
The comment section is also a bit of a fun one. I mean, we got some people calling the fans chuds and talking about the culture war, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm here for the salt. We got those who are calling us PDFs, how original, and people bitching about the mini nerds. Almost as if gaming was considered a nerd's hobby, till COVID, when everyone felt more comfortable being a weeb and a gamer, outside of Candy Crush and Subway Surfers. Now, you could see this as a doom and gloom, but judging by the way people are still excited for this game, yeah, I mean, I don't think the comment section of a dying outlet that can't get out of its own way should be considered the norm of the audience. I do see some relatively good takes. I mean, some people are comparing the game to Nier, and I do agree that it might as well be Nier's spunky little sister. I love how even the most interesting perspectives, sadly in the end, turn into back and forth about the protagonist's looks. Judging by the other comments, I don't think many of these people watch Asians beyond Arabs and Indians and American Asians who've drunk the Kool-Aid of don't look after your appearance. Cause I assure you, my fellow mid-looking motherfuckers, Asians, especially Koreans, are insane with beauty standards. Between genetics, healthier diets, Mission Impossible level of makeup, and of course cosmetic surgery, it's not surprising or difficult to find Korean men and women who basically look young. No, they're not underage, they're just better looking. Let's jump to Insider Gaming. And now we got this. Stellar Blade fans complain that Blood Rain's Eve is a downgrade by a definitely trustworthy journalist called Grant Taylor Hill.
But wait, there's more.
So this article goes straight to talking about people thinking Eve looks too young to be believable and is a downgrade from Eve in the prior game.
Back up, bitch.
So it's okay to have issues with the appearance of a woman character in gaming when they don't look like the after version of a person on crack? Now appearance matters, huh? Tell me people aren't full of it. Anyway, I do give credit to this douche for bringing up that Eve got the exact criticism back when it was in the gaming news cycle, but I gotta see a hold up on this specific statement. Eventually being shaped into a more mature character with a more ambitious model.
Tell me, Mike, from the moment you were born, has there ever been a point where you've actually told the truth?
What in the revisionist history is this bullshit? The amount of crap Eve got did not disappear. Don't backtrack, bitch. You know that if the Karens had their way, Eve would have looked like pre-Ozempic Lizzo, or would have looked like she smoked a pack a day with more stress lines than a Hassan orbiter when they get mail with any form of legal information on it. Pick, Western man. Ugly or obese. Choose. Blah 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 blah. Game came out, pretending he didn't hate it, it got success, reminding the reader of Eve's attractiveness that you're now okay with because it's old news and you can't do anything about it, and here's the tea. The animations and physics for the game are still there, so the only thing you can bitch about and not get called a hypocrite is Evie's appearance, because she's a tomboy and looks younger than Eve, intentionally by the way, and then tries to use a picture of her to say, look, she looks like a little girl, and I have to say, have you seen Korean women? By this metric, straight Korean men must all be residents of a certain island or frequent all-white parties in LA. Then the article tries to move on, acting like we didn't see all that by talking about Evie's ability to put belt to ass, but then runs into quick Eve slander about her appearance with a disingenuous comparison. My guy, no one was using the first image of Eve as the gotcha when they were complaining about Eve looking too young. They used the finished face. That's the one they were using to bitch about. It was dumb then and is dumb now. Don't play with me. I watched that crappy video going around with that dude wandering around New York asking people if they were uncomfortable with Eve's appearance, and the responses did nothing but take away my will to live. It's funnier when you remember that those creatures in glass houses were throwing stones, but I don't want to be too mean. Let's continue. The article goes further and talks about people on social media bickering about Evie in different angles and trying to create cope on both sides. It just boils down to confirmation bias at this point, pretty much information as a whole nowadays. I guess I'll do what the rest of the article tries to do and leave her appearance up to you. I recommend looking up South Korean and Japanese women in their early 20s and watching a good K-drama, and you might see that it's not as bad as people are making it out to be. Plus, you might watch something that's actually worth watching, instead of the MCU and Star Wars or whatever. There was also some stuff about people flimsily trying to call this game AI slop because some stuff in the background is AI apparently, and I'm just gonna say it, get over it! AI is here to stay. The genie is out of the bottle and it's never going back. Gaming, TV, and movies are all going to use AI whether you like it or not, just like with CGI and the electric pens and such. Artists and artists will always exist, and before you say, it's not art, guess what? Artists 30 years ago said the exact same thing for anything that wasn't pen and paper. Vote with your wallet and let the culling of bad artists begin. I'm personally going to judge it on what they're doing with AI rather than just write it off because AI just happens to be there. Do what you want, I'm not your parent. Like I said in the beginning, the bitching and moaning isn't as intense as Stellar Blade 1 was when it was making the news cycle. And will probably get more intense when the game gets closer to release, and I will be there to document that cope. That being said, there is still some chatter about us who are excited for this game being predators, but all I gotta say to that is, you motherfuckers cheered for God of War Laundry, and some of you love mixtape, so I say this 10 toes down. No, 10 toes down and my arms wide open when I say,
your booze mean nothing, I've seen what makes you cheer!
The journo takes feel like I'm listening to single divorced women complaining about their exes going for younger models, and I'll gladly challenge your takes. In length appropriate videos if you lovely people at home want to watch me lose brain cells. Like I said, scraping the bottom of the barrel of all the hate that this game has gotten. Here's a couple of videos to keep the party going a little bit more.
Drama is getting insane online, and I have to say something. People are saying that these characters—
Hold up, what is happening in the short, dude? Why do people use these green screen background filter effect thingies and come in like they just accidentally wandered into a film shoot? Just sit in the clip or edit yourself in after. Sorry, I know it's nitpicking and this is not what this video is about, but it's just like, yeah, to my eyes, you know? Anyway.
Characters look inappropriate, but these are real adult women that are based on Korean models and actresses. The main character is modeled after a real woman in her mid-20s.
Thank you. I mean, I remember when they showed us the model for Eve back during the first wave and people doubled down and then focused on the face since that was the custom designed.
Korean and East beauty standards are just different.
You know, I remember Hypnotic, who's a great YouTuber by the way. Great channel. I really recommend him. Yeah, he was saying, like for Koreans and Asians, that they put a lot of effort on their appearance, especially their face, because that's their first introduction to the world around them, or something like that to that effect. And that kind of stays with me as I think about it. It's like an interesting philosophy when it comes to thinking about something that stereotypically was considered shallow in the West. Maybe it's an interesting comparison to the millennial experience of claiming looks weren't important, and what's underneath was far more important. I think both are relatively fair in approach, and lifestyle definitely plays a part, and
What the fuck are you talking about?
hold up, wait a minute. If someone autistic and from South Korea and Japan do a more serious video on something like this, I'm not qualified for anything but talking shit.
Deep frame, smooth skin, small faces, that's the whole aesthetic tradition. It doesn't mean anything weird, it just looks different from what you're normally used to.
Nail on the head. Half of the hate is just people who don't know any better and are hyper-fixated on overcorrection on anything that they think is bad. That and virtue signaling. Personally, I think it's funny that even with the internet in the palm of our hands, people are still shocked by other countries and their standards of everything. It's like watching the programming go glitchy because a new code got entered. Some handle it as well as others, and as you'd expect, and others, well...
The studios must not like money! Why do you not want my money?
Jeez, what a little crybaby.
You gonna cry all day, crybaby?
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation.
And as someone that watches a few Asian streamers here and there from Japan and Korea, I see what he's saying. Two things Japanese and Korean women have told me is that, well, one, they're introverts most of the time, and two, a lot of them are short, like 5'5", 5'6", and below, as you can see right here.
Yep. Actually, I think the introvertedness is a side effect of the culture of not wanting to be a public nuisance. Niggas and streamers, take motherfucking note! And as for the height thing, 5'6" is actually on the taller end from my personal experience. I mean, the guys and girls of Asian descent outside of the Sandols and Indians that I've met are around like 5'5" and lower, especially when it's the girls. And they were wearing platforms and heels. Is it babyface? Yeah, pretty much. It's actually kind of funny how height is considered a metric of age, when in the West, short stacks are also normal, as are the dreaded lolly.
They also have some young-looking features. They never age, for what I've noticed.
I mean... Before anyone comes in and goes airbrushed and makeup and not realistic, boo-hoo. Some women and men got it going on and others don't. Others know how to use makeup and things that they benefit. Others don't. Nobody's saying all, but you gotta admit some are playing the game on better difficulty levels than the rest of us.
That's why this character right here looks like this. That's why they designed her like this. Nothing weird, nothing outlandish about it. It's just that's how Asian people are. Short, petite, and young looking. Pretty much, basically. That's what I'm getting right here. I will be distracting and off-putting. Yeah, but I understand.
Nah, I don't. I'm sorry. Outside of some carefully cut stills and mid-game movement, she looks like an early adult with some baby face. A lot of black people also have baby face. Same with Hispanics, Asians, and yes, even some white people. Also, let's be real. Catching a character looking what the fuck is pretty much the norm with anime and games. It's where like a lot of memes come from, so why are we tripping on this one?
Yeah, that's all I gotta say here. Not much to say here. And also, we don't know the age of this character yet. I just thought we should pull that out right there. It hasn't been official how old she is yet, so we might have to dial down with the drama for a bit.
The guy in charge at Shift Up already gave her the legal okay if that really is such a big issue for people. And even still, it's not like we're banging her or something. We're playing a game when she's handing two-piece combos out to monsters. If she's got people ogling her goods, I say don't even start. I know every nerd worth a damn has said or called a teenage character in gaming or anime hot before. Either it's public or at home, we've done it. Don't play. Whether it was Juliet from Lollipop Chainsaw, or Hinata, or Ihime, or whatever, we've done it. It is what it is.
Get ready for the next battle.
Okay, look at this. This is Mio Harai.
Hello, Mio.
A member from the Beyond, age 26, she's an idol. This is the protagonist from the new Stellar Blade game. Now, I don't even play Stellar Blade, don't really care to play the new one either.
Let him cook now! Let him cook! I said let him cook!
To reach their own, but continue.
But are we really saying that this girl does not resemble this girl? And that somehow this girl looks like a kid, but we know that this girl is 26?
Not unless that entire side of the internet wants to label the fans of that idol group pedos. Actually, with how out of pocket and disrespectful and afraid of accountability some of those people are, they probably would double down just out of spite.
Some men just want to watch the world burn.
Just admit you don't know what Asians look like.
Now, sir. They do. They have met Asians before. I mean, just the mid-looking ones off the streets. I mean, who would want Miss Mia over here over a classy lady like Nina Lim? By the way, I look for more video responses in regards to this whole thing, and most is just people saying, yeah, she's just Korean, bro. Asian people look younger. Stop the hate. And everything else is just Asmongold's takes. Don't get me wrong, I don't really hate the guy or anything else. It's just that, my lord, if you watch one video of his, your entire feed is full of him now. Others are just long-form videos of people trying to really cope and see that Eevee may look too young, but to be honest, it isn't all that deep. Plus, I'm not gonna sift through long-form videos to watch insufferable people forget fictional characters aren't real people. Before we get out of here, I do want to highlight the CEO of Shift Up and his responses. Let's take a trip over to IGN and hear from Wesley Yin Poole and Simon Carty. Makes you wonder how well this will go with two writers. The Big Cheese of Shipped Up also apparently had some words about the entire kerfuffle, and my lord, you have to get to the 5th paragraph just to hear what Mr. Hyung Tae Kim, totally nailed it, had to say. The above paragraphs are just basically recaps of the Summer Game Fest, Stellar Blade 2, and the complaints about Eevee's appearance. You're not missing much. He tells us she's intentionally designed and made to look younger for a reason. And no, she's not underage, you idiots. Here's the nitty-gritty and tea.
Yes. She is younger. She's smaller in size. She's shorter than Eve, he said, but she has a stronger personality and engages in much tougher battles. And she's actually part of a special squad that chases after a group of terrorists who cause terror attacks here and there in the city.
The interviewer then brings up how sexualized Eve was back in the first game, and he's wondering if the creator's going to be worried if they're going to be degenerates and sexualize Eevee. I mean, if people will view Eevee in the wrong way. And he responds with,
"If you actually play the game, you will not think that," he replied. "I definitely like how Eve looked in the previous Stellar Blade. But this time, Eevee, not just her physical looks, but her personality, the way she talks, the way she engages in battles, all that will combine together, and you'll see that she's a very lovable character."
In other words, play the damn game, you lunatics. She's more than just a hot piece of ass, you meanies. When asked if she'll also get some revealing outfits, Mr. Kim says,
"It will be even more appealing," Hyung Tae Kim said of Eevee's outfits. "That's all we can say."
They also ask why the protagonist changed, and I say again, play the prior game. If you play this one, it'll make things a lot clearer, and yes, spoilers, so we're just gonna move on. he also doesn't even want to screw it up by telling people spoilers. He's not Disney desperate to leak certain things so people can get interest in his product. He doesn't have to. The rest of this crap is just some stuff you can look up. It's plot related about the game, and yeah, the sequel doesn't really require you to play the prior game, so don't worry. It will enhance your experience, so it's recommended. Now that that's done, let's get the hell out of here. Hi, insert here. I was going to, do more on this, the whole petition thing against the blade, but the moment I was, starting to write it out and all that, I heard that, conflicting information making it sound like it wasn't real. So instead, I decided I'm just gonna hold off on that. Not to say that I don't think it's happening, I mean, it's very possible, especially after Collective Shout, but I don't know enough about it, so I don't think it's wise for me to talk about it any further outside of this little insert here. I will like to point out that there were petitions on both sides to try to deplatform or censor Eevee. I'm glad the one to say keep Eevee the way she is was way higher than the other one, so I'm just gonna leave with that good news. If something happens later on in reference to trying to censor or petition against Stellar Blade that actually has a real sway or weight, I will talk more about it in the future. But for now, I'm just gonna move on and end the video here, or lead into my final thoughts and end the video there. Because at the end of the day, I don't think it's wise for me to talk about something I don't know and spread misinformation. I will recommend looking up other YouTubers who have talked about it and done more in-depth research to get a better understanding, and also do your own research and vote with your own attention and opinions. Go support the petition to keep Eevee the way she is, and yeah, do what we gotta do to keep gaming fun and avoid censorship. We're not the UK. We're not animals. Just wanted to do that to end this off, and yeah. Thank you guys for staying on this video for this long, and I swear I will not take this long to make more videos, or release a video, or make a video. Just, life be lifing. Thank you, and let's continue to my final thoughts.
You're an irredeemable monster!
What took you so long,
nigger? Okay, so I think you guys get the gist of all the bickering. It's not as coordinated as the prior game's discourse, but it's still annoying and dumb. Contrary to popular belief, it's just journos and bored people who refuse to take the L, rage-baiting people through insults and dumb shorts and crap to make this bigger than what it actually is. Whether Eevee is an adult or kid is pretty much moot, since Stellar Blade isn't an erotic game. Having attractive people in your game or movie or show doesn't make it something you'd find on the hub. And the more people complain about it, the more I start asking if you people got touched as children, because this fear of sex is making me think Saint Harambe dying somehow led us to merge with the Shimonetta universe. Even if it was sexualizing Eevee, while she's a canonical minor or not, doesn't mean anything because she's not real. She's not sitting next to us, nor is she offended or about to be assaulted. No one's gonna get assaulted because people found Eevee attractive. It's a game where you punch monsters with robo-fists. It's a game. People need to get a grip, or leave gaming and anime, because can you imagine how they're gonna react to Tenjo Tenge, or older anime if modern fan service has them ready to call the police? Sorry honey, we don't live in the UK. This video may seem rather light on actual information and shit, but to be honest with you, not much is really happening, besides journos who can't get none arguing with people who hate censorship of any kind and actually feel serviced as fans. If you want harder hitting journalism, I don't know what to tell you. Real journalists died out after they got bought by big corporations and governments, so go find your favorite echo chamber or whatever at this point. I'm feeling apathetic to all of this, so I'm calling it. Next video will be about something that I actually found funny, just to get me out of this apathetic funk. Unless something else happens in the entertainment sphere. And I think maybe my Scary Movie 6 review will come out. Been a little too busy to actually go to the movies and watch it, and I should be able to go next week, I think. So, we'll see. Anyway, I hope I got a chuckle out of you guys watching, and if I did, drop a like and hit the subscribe button if you think I earned it. And I'll catch you guys next week. Later, taters.